Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Here and now, let me take you back to 1993. One day, a very young woman saw a newspaper advertisement. Would you like to improve your English? Would you like to speak English with confidence? Come to join our meeting. That was just exactly what she wanted. So she wrote down the address and went. When she arrived, everything sounded unfamiliar, and she knew no one. So she sat in the last row next to the exit. She thought, if someone tries to sell me something, I would leave right away. Eventually, no selling, and the meeting began. In the meeting, she watched the people come to the front, speaking English very fluently. And then a gentleman walked to the stage. He said a few words in English and then asked the question and invited one person to have a 2-minute impromptu speech. This young woman was stunned. How terrible. A speech? 2 minutes in English? Oh no. So she was scared. She tried to lower her down to avoid any eye contact, especially from that gentleman. She lowered her head, prayed, please don't call on me. But Murphy's Law was Murphy's Law. It really happened. She was invited eventually to the stage. Without any choice, she walked to the stage, but at that time, her hand trembled, her heart pounded, her mind went blank. She didn't know what to do. But anyway, she forced herself. She struggled to say some English sentences. But she could only speak 40 seconds. 40 seconds, not 2 minutes. She was so embarrassed, and she thought, how embarrassed. I don't belong here. I think I should leave now. But as she returned back to her seat, oh, the whole room gave her a heartfelt applause. She was stunned again. Why? She thought, I didn't do well at all. And why they were clapping? Anyway, the applause made her happy at that time. And after the meeting, the gentleman came to her, smiled, and said, you succeeded tonight. You stood up and went to the front. Good. You succeeded. And you will be much better. I can see you. I see it. Wow, what warm words. These warm words encouraged her so much. So immediately she decided to become the member. And as a member, since then, at first, she could speak 1 minute. Later, she could speak more clearly. And then she was happy in the table topic section. She took the rule, she took the group meeting, she took the meeting rules, and she also had her icebreaker speech. And even one day, she welcomed the first-come guest at the door. And when she saw a nervous guest sitting in the corner, she would come and say, please don't be nervous. If you stand up, if you are willing to stand up and try, you will be shining. Ladies and gentlemen, this young woman was me. 30 years passed. I tell you this story because in some way it is your story too, right? Yes. And dear guests, maybe you want to improve your English and become a better communicator. Maybe you doubt, you wonder, is this the place right for me? I understand. I was once sitting in the last row next to the exit. Tonight, it don't need to be perfect. You only need to take your first step. Toastmasters meeting is a place for you to improve your English communication and your leadership skills, believe me. And if you are willing to stand up, you begin to change. If you're willing to speak, you're ready to grow. If you're willing to believe in yourself, you've already begun to shine. Here, you can change, you can grow, and you can shine. Believe it?
Yes.
Thank you. And my dear fellow Toastmasters, our club is not only the place we practice speeches, it is also the place we found people's voice. Life is like a stage. Sometimes we stand in the spot, sometimes we sit quietly in the corner, sometimes we feel confident, sometimes we feel nervous, frustrated, and even afraid. But what truly matters is not the weather. Can I continue?
Sure.
Okay, it's not whether we begin perfectly. What really matters is whether we are ready to begin. What truly matters is whether we are ready to begin. So true light does not come from perfection. True light comes from our courage to begin and practices. So ladies and gentlemen, how about let us stand up and shine? Okay? Let's shine brighter at this Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters stage and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. What a wonderful speech. Okay.